Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Elden Ring by playing like a beginner and doing what you're supposed to do. I mean, I could look for the best possible route for us to take, but I think it's just interesting to say, let's look at the map. And right here, well, there's very clearly a tunnel. There is something interesting over here. We've also marked a church up there. There's an Erd tree, offshoot sapling we could mess with as well. So there's a lot for us to do. And this is, I think, the beauty of opening this game up, making it a open world game. We could see what kind of smithing stones we get down here. But in all honesty, because we can only go to +3, which we can already get anyway, I don't know if new smithing stones are going to be as game-breaking until we get a little bit further into the main story of the game so that we can open up another area. I'm just trying to speak properly to not spoil things, where we could go beyond +3. So until that happens, let's focus on this church, or at least it looks like a church from the outline, and work on our cartography, our ability to kind of interact with and identify this map as a guide for us. So if I look at where my beacon is, it's over there. And you can see, well, if I want to get there, how do we do that, right? It's kind of on a hill over there. Do we go down to get up? Let me see. That's us looking at the tree. There is potentially a bridge here that'll take us, but yeah, there it is. Hi, birds. We can make this. Oh, boy. That's quite the drop-off, isn't it? And you can see the bloodstains with people off this cliff. But, you know what? We are right next to a site of grace, so I'm going to do something. I do not know this, and if you know, as a expert player, or just somebody who knows more than I, which is pretty much everybody, I'm going to get off Torrent for a moment. By the way, see in the upper left, you see that little red box with the upward arrow? That is our buff from our talisman, showing that we have more hit points. I'm going to use Assassin's Approach. And I'm going to get back on Torrent. You see, I still have Assassin's Approach, and I'm going to see... oh, well, there's a windfall down there. Will this save us from dying if we, do that? And the answer is no. Not even close. So, that's too far. Good experiment. Grisly result. But like I said, there's a site of grace right here. We'll get it. You can see our runes on the compass. Let's go get them, and let's try a different path. Well, get him back, Torrent. Now we're in a kind of a... There we go. Don't want to be too crazy and fall off again. All right. Picking up everything, and yeah, let's try to get down here. I'll look for a gust of... Okay. There's the... You know what? There's our... I believe that's our campsite from before with the merchant. We can just go back down that way. Sometimes I'm, making it too hard. Oh, but... I was looking for one church and missed this church. Look at that. Now, how about that? This is... Okay. There's a problem here. We are getting hit with an enemy that's causing that. Not great. Oh my god. There's a conflagration. There's evil-eyed rats here. Let's go. Okay. Just don't let him fill up that yellow bar. We want what's at the church, which is hopefully sacred tears. Okay, I didn't mean to drink that, but that's alright. Got him. You see how little they give you? It's brutal. So all of these enemies are afflicted with the same thing, trying to give it to us. And then there's a mama. We need our wolves for this. The Flame of Frenzy. Look at that. So maybe that's what they've got. Okay. Go ahead and heal myself here. Oh boy. Okay. Just let the dogs work. They worked. Got our charges back, and we have made this happen. Anything else alive? No. Sacred Tear, you bet. So let's look at the map. Let's just, now it's filled in. But it wasn't quite as obvious because, the churches are in different states of disrepair. But when you see the walls and the rectangle shape of any kind, it could be a ruin if it's, a little bit more prolific. But in this case, it was a church, and we can make our flask stronger, which, as you see, no longer fills up our hit points because, well, I've been spending so much on hit points, and we have a ton. And all of our hit points are helping us not die. Now, what did we get? Let me just look at it really fast. We ended up getting right here an incantation. Now, we use incantations, which emits a burst of yellow flame of frenzy from the eyes. That's hilarious. It takes 16 faith, so we can't use this right now. But if we look at our status, our faith is 14. So if we boosted faith by 2, we could just get ourselves an offensive spell. How useful that is, I don't know, because you'd have to be switching all the time. This is the Ailing Village. And you could see, like, these people, they got the frenzy. They're ailing. Let's just do them all a favor and try to help them out. Okay. Always search these villages, stuff like this. Flamecrest wooden shield. We could compare our shield with that, see if that's any good. Again, I can upgrade my own shield with smithing stones. It's something that's possible. I just haven't really wanted to because it's got parry on it. But if I don't care about an Ash of War, maybe it's not a big deal. Alright, just poke around, see if you can find... Most of the time these doorways are like blocked up, boarded up. It'll be obvious if you can, get inside and search around. Find anything of note. And we're back to the church. So if I look at the map, you could see that the village itself has showed up. And let's check out this shield we got. It is Not great. 94 physical reduction, so even if we blocked, we'd still take damage. And I'm not down with that. Not at all. Glass shards. Okay. Got some flowers here. Alright. Where are we at? Alright, let's go over here. Sure. Golden runes. Well. It is a recon spot. Indeed. Alright, so that's where Torrent could jettison up, and if we wanted to jump down, we could get this on our map, and then we could go here. Perhaps try to make this happen. Is there a way down to that bridge? I think that to get there, we might have to do something kind of reckless. So there's the bridge. Well, we could just try to cross it right here, but that's not going to be the best. But we could just drop down and try and land near it. If you're near it like that, you got it. And this is the tunnel here. Let me just go to it. I want to ride at full speed. These can be guarded. There's usually a site of grace, like right on the inside. Okay, be wary of ambush. So I'm going to rate this good. Applaud it because I don't want to get wrecked. So this is the Morn Tunnel. So, I mean, does this sneak into Castle Morn? You know? Possible? Alright. I'm going to do this. Now, another thing we want to do is, as we're going down this lift, just pay very, I'm going to use my torch, pay very close attention to see there's a drop, there's a point right there where we could drop off, for example, stuff like that. Yes, and there is a site of grace right here. I think they shoot fire in this one. It's not easy. Let me see what... So we need to jump over there or walk across this beam? This is a tough life. Yeah, you could see they're looking at us, and they're going to want to try to fight on this rather uncomfortable spot that is terrifying. I don't mind if you jump up here and fight. Like, if I can use my shield, then we're okay. Now, there's a guy right up here. Okay, climb. So we gotta be very careful. And let's see what they got. Explosive stone. Okay? And that glowing smithing stone 1. So again, this is actually pretty low level. in the fact that we're getting Smithing Stone 1 here. We might get better, but... And it's high up, you know? Like, the deeper we go, we might get better ones, but that's pretty good. I'm not going to press on with this at the moment, because if I go into my inventory, and I go over to the categorical tab of Smithing Stones, I have a lot of Smithing Stone 1. We can explore further here to get more if we have enough gear that we want to, and armaments we want to upgrade, but I'm going to not. And I'm actually going to use my Sacred Tier before I forget. You bet. Fantastic. Now, to level up, we need 3,300. Not quite close. You can, if you want to see if there's anything underneath this lift, by the way. There's a dropping point there. This is... you could, you know, run on and run off to see if there's anything there. I'm not going to. But what I am going to do is mark this on the map. I'm going to get rid of my beacon, and I'm going to use a marker just to say that there's resources here that I haven't... gotten yet. Like, I haven't pillaged this completely yet. Because there's so many things that I come across in this game. It's so much fun. But I, you know, get, like, ADD or whatever and just get distracted by all the things and forget what was even there. And so if you leave yourself a little marker like that, train us slowly, then good things can happen. Where you can actually remember. And let's jump. Go, Torrent. Where do you want to take us? Over? Across the bridge? Now we are talking. So this is how I wanted to make it. But the great thing is we can just get back to Morn Tunnel at any point. Now, I don't know if it's going to, like, you know, secretly... It's kind of like, you know, if we were thinking about medieval times and there's this fortress here and they're getting supplies, you know, they're under siege, and this tunnel provides them with supplies or something. Maybe there's a way to connect. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway. I'm just happy that we made it across the bridge. We didn't actually end up having to fight that thing on the other side. There's this guy who wants to fight, very clearly. There's another torrent jumping spot here. We can just say goodbye to you. Ooh, a lot of people want to fight right here. Okay, okay, that's cool. Sometimes I don't feel as frisky, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm trying to get around, but we unlocked the Waypoint Site of Grace network so that we can just ping-pong back there if we want to. And I'm going to... looks like maybe it must be a ruin down, way down below. But I want to go check out this. This is where our beacon has been. And of course it's a church. Oh, and there's a ghost here. Looks like there's a procession coming. How's it going? The mausoleum prowls, cradling the soulless demigod. O America, Queen Eternal, he is your unwanted child. Alright, we did get some notes on a demigod, and we saw a pilgrimage actually approaching here on the road right behind us. We'll just leave that here for now. And look at this. This church, that is not Queen America, is it? But there's a sacred tier nonetheless. Let's go ahead and get this beacon out of here. Yep, touching it. And... uh-oh. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and rest. And flasks. Increase it. Use the sacred tier. You got it. Bam. And let's go back here and talk to Melina. See what she says about this church.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika. linger here as well. Shall I share them with you?
Please do.
In Marika's own words, then, after thy death, I will give back what I once claimed, return to the lands between, wage war, and brandish the Elden Ring, grow strong in the face of death. Warriors of my lord, Lord Godfrey.
So this is like again, I'm just speculating, like, I have not done a deep dive into the lore on the game. I've not, read something that puts it all together. It seems like that's a direct continuation of what Marika said before. So we were sent somewhere else to live and die as mortals in some war, and then we've come back here to get the Elden Ring, maybe? Or she's talking to somebody else and I'm off. Look at this. This could be another, castle or church. So could these things... Every single one of these, I'm just searching around. I'm exploring. What can I find? What's here? And in so doing, we find new areas. We're getting smithing stones, opportunity for more equipment. We get means for traveling, fast traveling across the land. And we're making our healing stronger. All of which will make us more powerful. Oh, gilded iron shield. Now let's look at that. There's a guy here who looks rough. Skeleton man. He's gone. Here's another skeleton man. But notice, wait a minute, what's going on? If you see that, time for a different fight. Skeletons. Now, if you jump, you can beat them. You need to do certain attacks to finish the skeletons, otherwise they keep reanimating. That was a good chug right there. The flask is doing its work. And we got plenty of blood grease. I always like having just vats of blood grease everywhere. It's good for candles. It's good for cooking. It's just... what isn't it good for? Alright. I'm teasing. Alright, this is a little teeny shield. Wah, wah. But something about all shields, every single time, is you want to push square and you want to see the information, because it's heavier than the wooden shield, but it boasts higher damage negation, and it gives you holy negation. So there's all this extra info on these screens about, what this does in particular. This one right here, easy to handle. That's what we're getting from that. Slay the demi-human mob's leader first, and the rest will lose hope and panic. So this is a note, like if you find certain bosses, and there's a big boy, or gal, you take them down, then the kind of minions will go. Alright. I'm going to run to my little waypoint here. I set my beacon. I see where it is. But also, just eyes peeled for any sights of grace. We just came from one, so probably not another immediately. And if this was once a church, it is no longer. It's a ruin. You can see the basement right there, actually. It's the Tomb Sword ruins, and the game will tell you. The game is so kind. Get rid of this beacon. So, let's go downstairs. No, Ratman. Read the notes. Always. Listen carefully. Okay. Be wary of surprise attack. Okay, so we definitely should pay attention to that. You see all these bloodstains? Be wary of pair. Okay. Be wary of the pair. People dead everywhere. Soldier ahead, I see. Okay. They ran away. They're throwing stuff at me. Come on out. No, stop trying to shoot me. Alright, that one's dead. But there's another one. They said pair. And there's another rat that wants to fight. Okay, fine. So, I have found these messages to be useful. I got my flasks refilled, which was kind. Good. That's a good rating. I'm applauding it. Listen carefully. They're pointing up there, maybe? I don't know why, but... Okay. Anytime I get help from other players, I'm like, you are a kind soul. Thank you. There's a lot of dead. There's a guy over there. So, again, this is another part of Elden Ring I've tried to tell you guys many times. Just use R3 to see if you can target. This guy's running up. And we got them. They did hit us a bit. They were not completely guard countered, you know? Like, they got to swing. Their poise was such that they could keep swinging. But it just didn't matter. Now, let me see. I'm going to target again. Make sure there's nothing else. Okay, there's a door. Good. Let's open it. What you got? Is there a person in here? That is a large hammer. Alright, keep trying to target that chest. I can't. We got ourselves a scythe. Nice. Okay. So, as is the case, very often an armament, and that's fine. Maybe we use this. Let's look at it. You need 16 strength, 24 faith, 16 dex. Angel's wings. It's kind of cool. If we wanted to be the Grim Reaper, by golly, we could, but we did it. Here's a jail right here. Do we feel like going and dying? I don't mind it. I just want to make sure. I'd love a site of grace nearby. So we could... Here's America. You know, here's a statue right here that we could be reborn at as well. I'm going to go up to that church, though. You know it. Oh, there's a tower. Okay. Let's go over here. What's the tolling of the bell? These are most certainly enemies. I can target them. I'm a little bit scared. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. It's the fourth Church of America. Well, the third church was great. Let's touch the grace. Do it. There's that tier. I mean, our flask is going to be +4. Ah. Look at that. Love it. So, we have found yet another church. If I look here, you can see it's up here. We could go to this jail. We could check out if this is a ruin down here. There is maybe a shack or something here. Definitely a graveyard, a tower. We see something already in our vision that's maybe not on the map as obviously that we want to go explore. And we're just doing so well kind of moving into this Weeping Peninsula I hope you all are finding this series to be useful and fun, enjoying playing along and just seeing what this game has to offer when you take it as, at least I think it's meant to be taken, which is at a nice, leisurely pace of exploration and wonder. I'll check you guys next time. Take care.